Well, hello. What's happening? The idea is simple. We'll look at some YouTube videos together. We'll drink a home brew together. Maybe a little... Ooh, let's look at a little of this. A little rumskis. A little red leg pineapple spiced. Oh, that's... Do you know what? I probably won't get this again. It's too sweet. Vanilla and ginger. Smooth. What does that say? Smooth to still? Smooth to smooth tasting. What the hell? I can't show it to you. It's too small. It looks like two other words. Smooth to stilzing. It says smooth tasting. Infused with vanilla and ginger. Distilled in the Caribbean. Spiced cane syrup. Spiced cane. Start again. Spiced cane spirit. Red leg. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that might have been something really interesting, and turns out it's not. I wouldn't get it again. But yeah, the idea is simple. We'll tab it up. We'll look at some tabses, and we'll have a brewskis, have a home brew, and have some rum or something. Hang out for a while. G'day, Amrex. How you doing on the YouTube machine? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna make a quick change to my chat there on screen. I noticed Social Ninja chat has moved a little bit of movement going on there. I'm just going to finesse that a little bit better. So also I was going to say, if we wanted to, and I always throw this out there, we could also have call-ins. I'm down for a chisel chat more so than just hanging out. So if there is a conversation to be had, I say, let's have the conversation right here. Yeah, if you guys want to call in, if you've got anything on your mind, maybe a conversation based around the cyclone that was not. I'll just want to read you an interesting comment on my YouTube channel. This absolute tool left this comment. Let me read it to you. I'll show it to you as well. I'll bring this up, make it large. Hold on a second. Where's the community? Let me just bring this up. Let me make this large. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So the comment is from a person called Code Sean. He says, let's get rid of that side panel. Let's make this even larger. He says, don't know what you're on about. Tell that to the people getting flooded as we speak. And this is in reference to the stream yesterday where we talked about how the media had a field day with pumping the content, the fear content. By the way, that chat's also changed. What's going on with the chat on Social Stream Ninja? It's moved. Did I do that? I don't remember doing it. I'm just going to change it. Just going to quickly tweak this. Just give me a second here. It's easy enough to do skis. It's easy enough to do. Make it larger at the top and just drag it up a little. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do it, but it's fixed now. Yeah, so that's in reference to that stream where we were talking about the media having a field day with a cyclone that didn't eventuate. So he says, don't know what you're on about. Tell that to the people that are getting flooded as we speak. And I said, 9 meters of water at that driveway? Did you catch that part? And that's directly in reference to that news reporter who was saying behind him was 9 meters of water right next to a driveway that just somehow miraculously went from level to 9 meters deep. It was just baffling. So he says, nah, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch. He's having a crack at me because I had a small number of viewers watching on YouTube. He said, nah, I didn't watch that with the other 4 people. Anyways, 1 less sub now. Previously enjoyed your content. So I said, so you unsubscribed because you disagree with my take and you didn't even watch it. Then you spend time to comment and tell me that? So then I got a little aggressive and said, don't let the door hit your head on the way out. And to those kind of trolls, I say, goodness gracious me, good riddance, don't come back. Didn't even watch it, right? Like if you're gonna look, we can all have disagreements, right? We can all disagree with each other. You don't have to agree with every take I make. You can say your take is well and truly out of line or wrong, and I'll take it. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with me. That's par for the course. But to then not even watch the thing that you're critiquing. So he's saying that he doesn't agree with me, but he didn't actually watch what I said. So what? I mean, are we going to have an argument, or are we going to just talk around the situation? How can we have an argument if you didn't even watch the thing that you say you disagree with? Like, that's batshit crazy. So yeah, I say I'm not going to miss that person, you know. Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo! One person left because he didn't agree with me. By the way, if whatever that Sean dude was, if you're watching Sean, you're lame. Not me, you at that point. If you had good takes on what I was saying and you articulated them, then sure, maybe we could continue this and maybe we'd find out I was lame. But in this instance, because of your post and because of what you said and what you did, you're lame. So we got tabs up the wazoo here. Toothboy, we can take a look at Toothboy. I'm all about TB. We've also got some links that were in my Discord. This one here, Trump, Musk, pullback curtain behind relationship, media's divide and conquer mission. What are the properties of gold? Why is that not reloading? Yo, hey, going was over on YouTube. Afternoon. How you doing, man? Let's just trouser refresh this. Oh shit. Oh wow. Huh? Did you see that? That video turned up for a second, and then I refreshed it. What if I refresh it again? That's weird. Oh no, there. Okay, so video unavailable. The uploader has not made this video available in your country. What do you got against Australia, mate? What's the video? Why are the properties of gold so unique? I wonder why that's all no description. Comments turned off. Shit. Sensitive video. Dang, dude. I don't know. Either way, we can't watch it. What else have we got here? Commercial spacecraft Blue Ghost nails moon landing. Blue Ghost mission explained. Blue Ghost. Landed on the moon? The moon's fake, right? Isn't the moon flat or fake or phony or not a light or not a star? I don't know. Something's wrong with the moon. It doesn't. I look up there and see it, but it doesn't exist. You know what the moon's like? The moon is like my Stream Deck pedal. I no longer have access to a visual of the pedal. I still have the pedal and the pedal still works, but it used to come up on my... I used to be able to just have it up there. So I rebooted my machine. Like, for those that don't know, yesterday I was running a Stream Deck command, so a multi-action command was running, and I realized it was the wrong command. So I quit the Stream Deck. And this is the Stream Deck pedal, not the Stream Deck full tilt. So the pedal apparently doesn't have its own app. It runs off the Stream Deck pedal app. So I quit the Stream Deck pedal visual indicator, the one that's on screen, and it stopped the actually it didn't stop the multi-action. That was still running in the background. That caught me unawares later. Anyway, when I went to reopen, like to get the app running again, it sounds funny because it was already open, so I can't say to reopen because the app was still open. I realized there's no way to find the Stream Deck pedal. Like that, the pedal is part of the main thing. So to bring up the app for just the pedal, that doesn't exist. And the Stream Deck pedal, there isn't even like I searched activity monitor, I searched Finder, I did everything. The actual, yeah, there isn't an app. There isn't one. So how do you get that visual back up? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to ask ChatGPT. He's been pretty good lately. I had to do something the other day. ChatGPT. Let me tell you about this. Okay, so I was just about to praise ChatGPT. Now I'm going to taunt it. So I wanted to stream while we're streaming here. I wanted to stream on TikTok in vertical at the same time. So while we've got this stream rolling, I wanted to open up my phone, start a stream on TikTok, but I wanted to use this camera sent to my phone as an NDI source, as an output from OBS, separate canvas with a vertical canvas. And I asked the GPT machine how that's done, and it said, yes, you can do that. You just have to buy this NDI output app. So a lot of NDI stuff is free, but the ones that are more let's say more manipulatable, the ones that are a bit more nuts and bolts, you pay for them. And so it said you can use TikTok on your phone, and if you you buy the NDI-HX camera app, $30 one off. You buy that app, then you can send that, and you also have to have the NDI tool. So the distro AV NDI tool in OBS, which I already had. So once you've got those two things running, you make the NDI source, well, it's already active. Then you open up this app, this NDI app, and you select your input. In this case, it'd be the output from OBS. And that's what you send to TikTok. And then would you believe I bought it? I was fiddling around with it, setting it all up. You can't choose. It even said on ChatGPT, it even said, go to the web settings cog. You guys can't see that, it's too bright, huh? Let me just turn the brightness down. It said, go to the settings cog on the bottom right-hand corner, tap that, brings up this menu along the base, and it said, change the source. So right now it tells you it's using the iPhone as an NDI source. It says, change the source to your OBS output. So I'm like, okay, where's that? Where's that? Can't find that. Didn't do anything I was looking for. I was like, okay, it's not there. So I ask it, I say, ChatGPT, how do I specify the source in the NDI app? I can't see that. And then it says, you're absolutely correct. That feature is not in NDI HX camera app. I'm like, excuse me? That's not in there? That's the only reason I bought this app. And by the way, you told me to buy it. So I replied to ChatGPT. I said, what are you talking about? You told me to buy the app for that feature. And it said, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. So I just spent $30 on an app that doesn't do the thing that ChatGPT told me. The only thing it told me it does for my use, it doesn't do it. Where is that conversation? There's a record of them. Open sidebar. Hold on a second. I'll show it to you. Where is it? I went so deep in it. I went so deep here. I'm just I could show it too. I'm just faffing through all this because the conversation just went on and on and on. I'll show it to you though. It's pretty funny. Yeah, here it is. So there are the dot points that it told me to do. Yeah. Okay, check this out. So I think it's point 2 here. It says, check iPhone's NDI HX camera app settings. Yo, Amrex, how you doing? Hey, man, do you do YouTube full-time or part-time? By the way, I'm a big fan of your channel. Thank you, man. I do this part-time. I have a day job as well. Or I have a part-time day gig in addition to this. So it says, check the iPhone's NDI HX camera app settings, open NDIX, tap on the screen to bring up the menu, check the gear/settings icon, look for a source list or a manual input option. If your OBS NDI source isn't listed, try manually entering the IP address. So I mean, that's what I needed to do. So what I did was I went down here after all these dot points and I said, where is the source list? And then it says, the NDI HX camera app does not have a built-in source list because it is primarily a transmitter sending your iPhone camera feed via NDI, not a receiver. If you want to receive and view an NDI feed on your iPhone, you'll need to use a different app, such as NDI Monitor. Let me just tell you this. Okay, look at this. I said, you told me to buy the NDI NX camera app to do this. I already spent $30 on it. You're right to be frustrated. I initially misunderstood and suggested the NDI HX camera app, which is a transmitter, not a receiver. My bad on that. Since you already bought it, let's make sure we get the best use out of it while also finding a free... No, how about this? How about ChatGPT? You send me $30 to my PayPal. How about that instead? By the way, it doesn't have that functionality built in, but it damn well should. There should be a ChatGPT token, and they should say, "Hey, look, yeah, we basically just stole $30 from you, so we'll send $30 of our token, just to make it all right, and you can keep the app." Because I only bought the app because of what it said. So go back to the very start of this. I said, how do I use OBS and distro AV NDI to send a scene from OBS to my iPhone so that TikTok can use it as a camera source? I'm using NDI HX camera app on my phone. Sorry, by the way. Okay, so that might sound like that's the second conversation we had. Where's the first one? We had this conversation quite a while ago. Yeah. So it sounds okay. Dude, I've got so many conversations here. Let's make this bigger. It says you can send a video feed from OBS into an iPhone via USB-C using QuickTime, Epoch Cam, or even capture devices. However, from OBS direct to output, typically easier to use QuickTime. I said, I'm talking about from OBS into the phone. I see what you're asking. You want to send a video? Yep. Okay, so use QuickTime, Mac only, or using a third-party app like NDI HX Camera. If you're not using a Mac or prefer a more robust method, you can use third-party apps such as Epoch Cam Pro or Epoch Cam Pro. I've actually got that. I've got that. Dude, we used to use it for I've already got Epoch Cam. I got Epoch Cam Pro. Can that be an NDI? Ooh. Anyway, it says here, for Epoch Cam, use OBS Virtual Camera to send video to your phone via Epoch Cam Pro. Wow. Here it is, NDI HX Camera. Install NDI HX Camera on your phone, which is a paid app. Use NDI output on OBS to send the video feed from OBS to your phone. Done. Then basically that doesn't... This step right here, this functionality does not exist in this app. So the point of this little rambling is ChatGPT often gets things wrong. It's done it a few times. Well, most notably that time. But I was going to ask the GPT machine, what we came here for was, how do I bring up the Stream Deck pedal app on my Mac? It used to be visual whenever the Stream Deck was running, but I inadvertently, spelled incorrectly, closed it, and now I cannot refind? No, I cannot find it. Let's see what it says. You can reopen the Stream Deck pedal app on your Mac. No, it's not an app though. It's not an individual app. Check the Stream Deck icon in the menu bar, top right of your screen. Stream Deck, top right of the screen. There's never been an icon up there. What the hell are you talking about? It's not in applications. Go to applications and find it. It's not there. If the pedal tab doesn't appear, go to preferences within the Stream Deck app and check for the pedal related settings. If the pedal tab doesn't appear, go to preferences within the Stream Deck app. So the Stream Deck app is open. Yo, Amrex, what are your thoughts on Australia Day? Should we celebrate it? Absolutely, man. I'm an Aussie, and absolutely we should celebrate our nation's founding. Of course we should. Why wouldn't we? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Where is this preferences? Stream Deck preferences. Okay, here we go. Preferences. Here's a preference panel. Pedal related settings. Devices. Stream Deck Plus. Stream Deck Pedal. Always on. Always off. Oh, that's LEDs. Sensitivity. Wow. I'll crank the sensitivity up. Stream Deck Plus. Yeah, that changes it up there. But it doesn't give... It used to have a separate little pop out, you know, a visual of the pedal. I don't get it, dude. Check for updates. We've already checked this. We're on the most update. Yeah, we're already on the most updated style. Multi-action. Plugins. Profiles. Interesting. Accounts. Device. Yeah, it doesn't... There's nothing really there, you know? Let's check the pedal firmware. See, it's not part. The pedal is part of the app, so it's not there. So there's nothing there. I quit. I quit it. Reinstall it. I don't want to do that. Okay. The Stream Deck pedal does not have a standalone app. You're right, the Stream Deck pedal is managed within the Stream Deck software itself, not a separate app. If the pedal tab or settings are missing from your Stream Deck app, try these steps. Re-enable the pedal in the Stream Deck app. Tried that. Unplug it. I mean, I restarted my computer. That's as good as an unplug, right? Force quit. I mean, I probably could pull the plug on it. I don't want to, though. Yeah. Let's ask ChatGPT about Australia Day. Amrex, let's see what it says. Should we celebrate Australia Day? Oops, Australia Day as Australians. Asking as an Australian. That's a big question, one that a lot of Australians have strong opinions about. On the one hand, some people see Australia Day, January 26, as a time to celebrate the country's achievements, culture, and national identity. They argue that it brings people together and it's an opportunity to reflect on what it means to be an Aussie. On the other hand, many Indigenous Australians and others refer to it as Invasion Day because January 26 marks the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788, which led to the dispossession. That looks like too many S's. Dispossession, that's correct. Violence and oppression of First Nations people. For them, it is a day of mourning rather than celebration. That's why there's been ongoing debate about either changing the date to something more inclusive. Yo, Quinchin over on Beam. How you doing, Quinchin? To something more inclusive or finding a different way to acknowledge Australia's history. So hold on, changing the date doesn't change the fact of the celebration. Inclusive. It's pretty inclusive. That's what happened on that day. Why is that not inclusive? It's already inclusive. It happened on It happened on January 26, 1788, and it included the people that were here and it included the people that came here. You can't rewrite history, is what I'm getting at. Some argue that we should have a national day, but on the date that unites rather than divides. What date might that be, though? Others think we should keep the day, but use it to recognize both the good and the bad parts of it. I reckon that's the take. That's the take. We should keep the day, but we should use it to recognize both the good and the bad parts of our history. You can't change history. Well, I'm going to say, well, you cannot change history. Exactly. You can't change history, but you can choose how to acknowledge it. Some people argue that keeping Australia Day on January 26 means recognizing both the positives and negatives. This is repeating itself now. While others feel that celebrating on this date ignores the suffering it represents for Indigenous Australians. Okay, a lot of Aussies sit somewhere in the middle, wanting to celebrate the country without disregarding its history. That's exactly how I feel. That's where the push for either a different date or a reworked approach to the day comes in. Something that acknowledges the full story. Where do you land on it? Keep a date, change it, or rethink? Keep it. Amorix. Aboriginals are apparently the oldest culture on Earth, which surprises me. You mean Aboriginal Australians? Because Aboriginal, there's not just Australian. It's an inclusive term. Yeah, so that's an interesting topic of conversation. Quinshan Chen posting little graphics over there on the Beam Machine. Aboriginal Australians, are they the oldest? Oh, I didn't know that. Are Aboriginal Australians the oldest culture on Earth? Yes, Aboriginal Australians are widely recognized as having the oldest continuous culture on Earth, with evidence of their presence in Australia dating back at least 65,000 years. Some estimates suggest it could be even older. Archaeological discoveries including ancient tools, rock art, and sacred sites like those in Kakadu National Park and the Mungu Man. Mungu Man. Mungo. Why do I know that? We went through there, didn't we? Mungo. What is the Mungo Man? We went through Mungo Man, didn't we? This is that thing that's visible from the air? I think Doug pointed this out to me. Mungo Man. What is the Mungo Man? No, something else. Mungo Lady and Mungo Man lived in the region now known as the Willandra Lakes, western New South Wales, around 4,200,000 years ago. Oh, okay, interesting. So you're right. They're definitely the oldest culture on land. I mean, that begs the question. Okay, just to start the topic or just to get deeper into it, if they existed for, what does it say, 6,500,000 years, did they not develop in that time? Like when white men came on January 26, 1788, there wasn't a very distinguishable species of, there wasn't development, there was still campsites and spears, right? So if they existed for that long, what about any development? What about enhancements? What about growth and change? Did all that happen after white men came? There's an interesting conversation to be had. I don't know if I'm the right person to have that conversation, but that's what that brings up to me. When you say, and ChatGPT confirms it, that Aboriginal Australians are the oldest culture on planet Earth, wouldn't they be the ones that advance quickest and further than anybody else? It doesn't appear to be. I might ask that. Let's keep the conversation flowing. If Aboriginal Australians are the oldest culture on Earth, where is the advancements and developments? Spelled incorrectly. I don't think you need to spell correctly for ChatGPT. And developments that would have been where are the advancements and developments that would have been born? Is that the right phrasing? How do I phrase this? If Aboriginal Australians are the oldest culture on Earth, where are the advancements and developments that would have take the word been out, would have occurred during that time period? Let's see what it says. That's a fair question. Comes down to the way advancements and developments are defined. Many people associate progress with things like cities, written language, agriculture, and large-scale engineering. However, Aboriginal Australians developed and maintained a complex, sustainable way of life that prioritized harmony with the environment rather than changing it on a larger scale. Here are some key advancements and developments in Aboriginal culture. Land management and agriculture. Aboriginal Australians practiced fire stick farming, which is a controlled burn to manage landscapes, promote plant growth, and reduce bushfire risk. Something modern science now recognizes as highly effective. Okay, cool. They cultivated and harvested native crops like yams and grains. Evidence from sites like Budgie Bim in Victoria suggests they built one of the world's oldest aquacultural systems using stone structures to trap and farm eels for food. Effectively, they had an eel pit. Anyone from the H3 family here? They had an eel pit. Navigation and trade. They had extensive trade networks across the continent, exchanging tools, ochre, and other goods over vast distances. Trade, okay. Aboriginal navigational knowledge was so advanced that they could travel and map regions using oral history and landscape features rather than written records. Okay. Astronomy and timekeeping. Aboriginal Australians were skilled astronomers using the stars to track seasons, navigate, and structure ceremonies. The Emu in the Sky constellation, formed by dark patches in the Milky Way, was used to signal the right time for collecting emu eggs. Some rock engravings, such as the Wardi Yuang, align with solstices. Okay. Engineering and tool making. Stone tools found at some sites are over 40,000 years old, showing sophisticated shapes and use. The boomerang is a well-known innovation. They also made advanced fish traps, stone axes, and spears. Their dwellings, such as stone huts found at Budgie Bim, show that they built permanent structures, contradicting the idea they were nomadic, purely nomadic. Oral tradition and social structures. Without written language, Aboriginal cultures developed one of the world's most complex oral traditions, preserving law, history, and knowledge for thousands of years. Their kinship systems were incredibly intricate, dictating social rules, marriage laws, and responsibilities within communities. So while their advancements weren't in the form of massive cities or metal tools, Aboriginal Australians developed highly effective and sustainable ways of living that allowed them to thrive for tens of thousands of years, longer than any other continuous culture on Earth. It always asks you a question to keep the conversation flowing. Would you consider sustainability and longevity a form of advancement in itself? So I was going to ask a different question. I was going to say, are these practices, are these ways of life still observed within Aboriginal culture? Or did white man landing on January 26, 1788 change everything? The arrival of the First Fleet on January 26 dramatically changed Aboriginal way of life, but it didn't erase them. Colonization led to massive disruptions, including land dispossession, violence, disease, and policies aimed at assimilation. Many Aboriginal communities still maintain and practice key aspects of the culture today. What has changed? Loss of land and displacement. Traditional land management, fire stick farming, aquaculture, and seasonal movement was heavily disrupted when land was taken from farming and settlements. Decline of languages. Over 250 Aboriginal languages once existed, but many have been lost due to forced assimilation policies. Some, however, are being revitalized. Impact of government policies. Laws like the Stolen Generation policy forcibly removed Indigenous children from their families, aiming to erase their culture. Whoa, that's heavy. What does still exist today? Traditional knowledge and practices. Some Aboriginal groups continue fire stick farming, bush medicine, and storytelling traditions. Cultural and spiritual practices, dreamtime stories, ceremonies, dance, and art are still practiced and passed down. Oh, I've got a great question. Land rights and native title movements like the Mabo case in 1992 and land handbacks. For example, Uluru have restored traditional lands to. See, I take umbrage at that. Okay, just quickly, if you're going to give back land to Aboriginals, you might as well go and give it all back. You can't pick and choose which bits you give back, right? Like, let's be clear about it. If you're handing back the dispossession of land, well, how do you choose what you're going to give back? If you go back to 1788 and that's when it began, you could claim that everything that white men took needs to go back to Aboriginal owners. We give back the rock, we gave back Uluru. What about Sydney Harbour? What about Kurnell, where the first fleet landed? What about everything? It's basically, you entertain this notion of handing back. You have to give it all. There's no stopping it. And all of it, if you're going down that avenue, all of it has to go back. Heavy. But that's not the question I was going to ask. I had a great question because when I was in Uluru, we went, this is after Marty, this is post Marty. I went to the East McDonnell Ranges and encountered something that this does exist everywhere in many other places, including Uluru and the Olgas. There are certain areas that you're not allowed to photograph. You're not allowed to photograph them. Certain things, in this instance, it was a hand painting or a series of hand paintings in a cave. Some might say that's graffiti, right? I mean, if I put my hand on a wall and painted around it, that's graffiti. The point is, there was a sign saying no photos. And so I made a video of the area and I carefully made certain my camera wasn't facing the hand paintings, it was facing away from it. And I went over there and I visually looked at it and I came back and I told the camera what I was seeing. So I dictated what I saw. So I can retell what I'm seeing and therefore documenting it and preserving it, but I just can't take a photo of it. Now, for me, that screams of hypocrisy. And it also seems counterintuitive because the idea of photography and video to preserve and document and share is the only way that certain artifacts and certain landscapes and certain areas of the world can be seen today, right? Like if, let's say you've got a kid who lives in the UK, they're never ever going to afford a trip to Australia. They're never ever going to see a hand painting from an Aboriginal unless they come out to Australia. Yet, with the advent of the internet and modern tech, we can show them photographs and videos of the thing that they're never going to see. Except that in this case, the traditional landowners said no. And I don't know why they would say no, because that's not going to last forever. You know, these hand paintings, the rock weathers, rocks erode and weather and rainfall and all that stuff. It's not going to be there forever. So I found that very, very odd. And I don't know why that would be a thing. I do know why. They say that it is an area of cultural significance to Aboriginal communities and therefore cannot be photographed. All those words together just sort of still doesn't make sense to me. So as a white man, I can come and look at it and remember it and tell my buddy who didn't go. I can tell them what I saw, but I can't show them. That just does not compute at all. So I want to ask ChatGPT, Amrex, have you climbed Uluru? No, I haven't. I haven't climbed it. I've only been there once, and it was last year. Some areas of Australia. I guess I'm going to just make it some areas of Australia, because it's not just an Aboriginal Australia. Some areas of Australia that are deemed of Aboriginal significance include signage that prohibits photography. Why would this be the case? The prohibition of photography in areas of Aboriginal significance is usually tied to cultural beliefs and traditions. Here's why. Spiritual and sacred sites. Many Aboriginal sites are deeply spiritual, with dreaming stories and ancestral connections that are not meant to be widely shared or exposed. That's absolute fucking rubbish. Sorry, that is rubbish. There's signposts directing you to this. Before the internet, there was Lonely Planet guidebooks telling you where to go to find this is what the fuck? Not meant to be widely shared or exposed. Go to any of these information centers and they tell you where to go to see this shit. Taking photos can be seen as disrespectful or intrusive, similar to how some religious sites worldwide prohibit photography. Okay, that's fair. I never thought about that. You can't really photograph in cathedrals and stuff. Yeah, that's fair. So it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to take a photo, to document it. Is it disrespectful to, like, verbally tell someone what it was? I mean, a photograph tells a more accurate rendering of what the thing was. Someone verbally speaking it leads the potential for them to get it wrong and tell it incorrectly. Cultural protocols and privacy. Some traditions restrict the viewing of sacred objects. The viewing? I'm talking about photography here, not viewing. Like, we're allowed to look at these things. Imagine not being able to look at it. No, there'd be like a sign with two eyes and there'd be crosses through them. No eyesight. Some traditions restrict the viewing of sacred objects, rock art, or ceremonial sites to specific people. For example, elders or initiated members. So there's... Sorry to point the obvious, but isn't that discrimination based upon, well, in this case, based upon age? That's ageist. Photography can unintentionally disrupt these cultural rules, especially if images are shared publicly. It doesn't make any sense. If you're allowed to go there and hang out there and look at them. Respect for the deceased. In many Aboriginal cultures, seeing images of a deceased person can be distressing or forbidden. That's weird. Seeing an image. Okay, well, in this case, I'm talking about hand paintings. Seeing images of a deceased person can be distressing or forbidden. You can't look at the dead? Wow. This extends to places linked to ancestors or burial grounds where photography might be considered culturally inappropriate. Okay. Protection against exploitation. Some communities want to prevent their sacred sites from being commercialized or misused. That doesn't ring true because you can take a bus to Uluru, but you can't take a photo. Taking photos without permission. So it's possible to take the photo. You've got to get permission first, though. So you got to apply for a media pass. Taking photos without permission can be seen as taking something without consent. Get over it. Similar to the long history of Indigenous knowledge and artifacts being taken or used without respect. So I guess I'm coming at this from a different point. I'm coming at this from a documentation point. No one's taking a photograph isn't taking anything from anybody. It's just preserving it. Man, I'm confused more than I was before. In some cases, permission can be granted for photography, but it depends on the site and the community's wishes. Here's the question. Have you come across one of these sites before? So I'm going to say, in terms of documentation, in strict terms, I'll put the word strict in there. In strict terms of documentation, what's the difference if I tell someone what I am seeing at a sacred site, as opposed has one S, to showing them via a photo. If anything, telling them what I am seeing lends itself to getting to the message being relayed incorrectly, but with a photo, there is zero chance of getting it wrong. That's a logical perspective, but the difference between telling someone about a sacred site versus showing them a photo comes down to cultural beliefs rather than just documentation accuracy. Here's why photography. So this is a cultural. We're butting up against cultural discrepancies here. The Aboriginal community believes photography to be culturally disrespectful. That's what I'm seeing. The power of images in Aboriginal culture. Many Aboriginal traditions place specific significance on visual representation. Some images, objects, or locations are only meant to be seen by the right people at the right time. Again, this is not accurate. If you can drive a fucking bus to these places and get out and walk up to them and look at them anytime you want, you know, you can pay the $30 to go to Uluru on a Kentucky tour and go and have a look, but you just can't take a photo of it. A photo captures and freezes something in a way that removes it from its intended context, potentially disrespecting cultural protocols. I'm just saying that this just doesn't make any sense to me. Control and permission. When you tell someone what you saw, there's a layer of interpretation and responsibility on your part, which respects the idea that knowledge is passed on deliberately and carefully. Yes, but that doesn't factor in individual ability to tell a story. Like if someone, let's say I'm telling you what I saw, and I'm telling that very detailed, and I'm telling it in the most descriptive manner possible. Well, that's just me. The next person that comes along and sees it and then goes to tell their friend might not have might not have a great grasp on English, and they might not be able to articulate what they saw. And so therefore the person who receives the information doesn't get the full story because the person couldn't tell the story accurately. You know, I'd go into detail about the contours and the textures and the lines and the colors, and this person might just say, looked like they put their hand up against the wall and threw dirt at it. And that's not the same, right? You're receiving two different stories there. A photo takes control away from the traditional owners, allowing the image to be distributed, reshaped, or used in ways that may be inappropriate. Damn, that's again, it's so much more. If you're allowing people to visually see it and then go and tell people what they saw, then you're opening up a way bigger can of worms than a physical image. Sensitivity to the spiritual world. In some Aboriginal beliefs, a photograph can carry the spirit of a place or person, meaning that an image taken without permission is more than just a visual record. It can be a form of taking something sacred. It's all a bit wishy-washy, isn't it? It's all a little bit la-di-da. It can be a form of taking. No one's taking anything, though. This is similar to why some Indigenous groups discourage photos of deceased people. It's not just about accuracy, but about respecting spiritual connections. So I'm not talking. No, I don't think anyone's taking photographs of the dead. But are they saying that if a photograph of an Aboriginal, if there's a photograph of an Aboriginal person and that person dies, do they have to get rid of the photograph as well? Is that what that's saying? This is similar to why some Indigenous groups discourage photos of deceased people. Yeah, so that tells me the photo's already existing. It's not just about accuracy, but about respecting spiritual connections. Grahimi, how you doing, man? Howdy there on YouTube. The risk of misuse. By the way, we're on a little bit of a tangent here. We're just entering this discussion about. I mean, I went to Uluru recently, and on the East McDonald Ranges, I came across a hand painting, Aboriginal hand painting, and there was a sign up saying no photography. And so I was able to shoot a video where I turned the camera away from the thing, so you weren't seeing the thing, and then I went up and visually saw it, and I told the camera what I was seeing. And so that begs the question, did I breach the rules by using the form or the technology of photography or videography to tell? Like, I didn't show, but I told. And my point, by asking ChatGPT, my point was to sort of work out if it's the documentation that's the problem, or if it's, and it seems like it's just a cultural significance. It's not. So, yeah, because on the one hand, they have these sites and they cordon them off and they put up barriers and signage and car parks and entrances and sometimes access fees. So they want you to go and see it. My point is they won't last forever. So when they're gone and there are no photos of them, what then? Like if nobody could let's take it extreme, right? And by the way, there are parts of Uluru that you're not allowed to photograph. Certain angles of it, certain areas of it are off limits to photography. But imagine that was the whole thing. Imagine there was no photography of the rock, period. Imagine that. Imagine they said, no, the whole site is sacred. Well, that's what they do say, actually. They do say that it's a traditionally sacred site. But certain parts of it are okay to photograph, but other parts are not. So my point is, imagine it was the whole thing, and then let's just say there was an earthquake or something gnarly happened and the rock just met its demise. Well, then if we don't have any photos of it, we'll never ever remember it, and then it'll never get passed down through the generations. Seems strange, eh? Does UNESCO or someone have a pick, maybe? I mean, look. So I posted my video and I got a whole bunch of TikTok conversation, people saying, oh, fuck it, I just went and photographed it. Who gives a shit? And I was like, no, I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to break the rules. But on the same token, I'd like to understand what's going on here. Like, what is the point of this? If on the one hand, I'm being encouraged to go there, to drive out there, spend my time and money and go there and see it and get a visual in my head of it, why can't I then take that and get a shot of it and then take that back to show my friends that'll never have a chance to go there, such as you guys that are not in Australia, right? There's plenty of people in my chat that'll never come to Australia. So I'm allowed to tell you what I saw. I saw some hand paintings on a wall. It looked like there was some yellow, some dark browns, some oranges. Then there was a black area that had like kind of charcoal. I couldn't quite make out anything there. I don't know if that was part of it. That might have just been some smoldering from a fire, but it didn't quite. I never actually saw a handprint, but I saw some things that might resemble a handprint. I'm allowed to tell you that, but in me telling it to you, I'm opening up the doors to telling it wrong and therefore passing on the wrong information to you guys. But if I could shoot a video and play the video, there's no chance of any. You guys would be like, oh, look at that, man. That's an Aboriginal hand painting. That's sick. Well, no, we don't have those in Denmark. Right? So my point is, and what we're learning is it's just about cultural significance. So the Aboriginal community regards photography as being something akin to the spirit world. I mean, we can't argue that. If they think photos and video is like ghostly and otherworldly, I mean, there's people there that think COVID was the government trying to install 5G antennas in the suburbs. So there's all kinds of conspiracy and weird shit going on. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. Pretty strange, though. It's pretty strange. A photo is definitely the least harmful. It's the most accurate. And I'm coming at it, like legitimately, I'm coming at this from a documentation perspective, more so than the cultural significance, spiritual aspect. Yeah, the Aboriginal culture is different. At some point, those two collide because, like I said, many times in this discussion on ChatGPT, they're saying they don't want these things to be seen, period. Not just a photo, but not even viewed. Like there are sacred sites that are not to be viewed by white men, only particular people. And that's particular ages, elders, particular communities. They're the only ones allowed to see it. So you got to, at that point, you're entering into a discrimination argument if you want to go down. I'm not interested in arguing for that on anyone's behalf, but that's where it goes, right? If you limit certain aspects, then you're discriminating against someone at some point, and someone's going to get upset with that. And how come it's certain areas are okay and some others are not? Such as parts of the rock, parts of Uluru are off limits. Not allowed to photograph it. You're allowed to go and have a look, can't photograph it. The risk of misuse. If a description is inaccurate, it might not spread as far as a photo. Are you kidding me? If a description is inaccurate, it might not spread as far as a photo. This is the internet, dude. I'm spreading this as far as I can and I'm talking. Then I could show you a photo. It's the same thing. A photo can be copied, shared, and misinterpreted without the cultural context. Wow. Huh. So they're saying just looking at something from a photograph could be interpreted incorrectly. Grahimi, I've been in some Buddhist temples that had no photo rules, but you 100% saw people breaking this. Yeah, and I think we need to be constantly reminding ourselves that it's not just Aboriginal Australia where this exists. Certain cathedrals. I think from memory that Cologne Cathedral in Cologne in Germany had a no photo rule. I'm pretty certain. I can't. I have to go back and look in. Yeah, no. There was no photos for sure. Grahimi, did you take the photo if someone you know takes a photo and shares it to you? Interesting. I'd say no. To answer that, I'd suggest no, you didn't take the photo. But you are responsible because you're... So in that... Hold on a second. Wow, this brings up a bigger question. Is there... Sorry if this sounds wrong, but do Aboriginals use Facebook and social media? Like, wow, they might not be any... I don't have an Aboriginal friend. Oh, I kind of do. Yeah, well, I do. I have an Aboriginal friend. He's on Facebook. So what is... It seems like this is going to come across wrong, right? This is going to come across bad. I'm going to just say it anyway, but for a culture that is the oldest known culture on planet Earth, some 65 odd thousand years, and for the culture that really harnesses story time and storytelling and the dream time and spiritual and, you know, paintings on walls and really that's a big part of that culture. Well, it's 2025 and we have digital technology now with video and audio and photography. Have they just not adapted to that? Like, are they just like, are they stuck? Are they not gonna get with the times? Like, this might be more something like, I'm thinking like the early 70s and, you know, late 70s, early 80s when still cameras were before digital. Maybe this would fit better. So it's not about the actual. The problem here isn't related to the photo. It's about spreading it more. What am I getting that right or wrong? Why can you ask for permission and then take the photo but not, none of this makes sense. I'm up against the wall here. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. It would make sense if all these places were shut down and they said, no, you can't go there. You can't come here. You can't see this. You can't visual it. You can't tell someone about it. It's ours. It's sacred. It's not for you. But it's not. It's like there are certain places that you can go to and they are sacred sites. Uluru itself is a sacred site, yet we're allowed to go there. Certain areas, yet other parts of it, no photos. It's either all or it's none. I think this has opened up more questions than it's answered. This is under the risk of misuse. Some sites have been misused in tourism or commercial ventures, so restricting photography helps protect their significance. Okay. Yeah, so here's my point, I guess. So while a photo is more precise, the issue isn't about getting the details right. It's about cultural respect, consent, and control over how sacred places are shared. So it's controlling. Gotcha. Would you say these restrictions make sense from that angle, or do you think modern documentation? I feel given the age of technology that we live in, restricting not even just photographs, digital representations of cultural significant areas, items, or places is a massive fail. We should be harnessing the technology that we have access to and allowing everyone on the planet to benefit from. I feel given the age of technology we live in, restricting digital representations of cultural significant areas, items, or places is a massive fail. We should be harnessing the technology that we have access to and allowing everyone on the planet to benefit from it. Greemy, I understand this to mean you wouldn't truly appreciate the value of the art if you're not experiencing everything else around it. It's kind of what they're saying. So they want you to actually be there, experience the journey of getting to it. But that's what I'm saying. That's not accessible to everybody. Like there's going to be a huge number of people that will never ever come to Australia, right? Speaking about it from an Aboriginal Australian perspective, this country is, well, from Europe, this is the furthest you can fly, right? To get down under, it's the furthest plane flight you can take, longest plane flight, and from LA as well, longest journey. London, same thing, right? It's a big commitment and a lot of money too, you know. Then you got to find your way from the coast all the way into the center. That's not easy either. So what I'm saying is, there's a massive, it's probably less so, you know. Global transport has gotten more affordable than it ever was. Like in the 80s, it was even more restrictive to people with less money and whatnot. But but there's still going to be a huge percentage of people that will never come down here. So are they never allowed to see any cultural significant sites? I think that's a shame. True, I'm from the US. I'd love to visit, but it's expensive. Yeah. I've got this cut on my neck here. I'm going to put something on that. It's bugging me. So anyway, ChatGPT said, you raise an important point, especially in our modern interconnected world. Technology has certainly opened up new opportunities for learning, sharing, and preserving knowledge in ways that weren't possible before. From an informational standpoint, it's understandable why you feel that restricting digital representations might limit access to valuable cultural knowledge. Here's a deeper dive into the pros and cons. I don't want to go into the deeper dive, but I want to ask this. I want to ask this question. Does anybody know, and I'm going to ask the GPT machine, is there a famous Australian Aboriginal TikToker, YouTuber, live streamer? I don't know of any. Let's find out. Has Aboriginal Australia Aboriginal Australians made any impact on social media? For instance, is there a Aboriginal TikTok star, a famous Aboriginal YouTuber? What about Instagram? In my 10 years on YouTube, I haven't seen one. Says, yes, Aboriginal Australians have started to make an impact on social media. So they are in favor of digital representations of themselves. Though it might not be as widely recognized as other influencers or creators from mainstream backgrounds. But there are a growing number of Aboriginal figures carving out spaces for themselves on platforms like TikTok, Insta, and YouTube. TikTok. Tilly Smith, an Aboriginal TikTok creator who gained a significant following for sharing her experiences as a proud Gamilare woman. She talks about her culture, history, and personal life, helping to raise awareness of Aboriginal issues among younger generations. Hannah Bug, another popular TikTok personality of Aboriginal heritage. She's known for her activism and educational content that focuses on Indigenous rights, cultural awareness, and mental health. On Insta, there's Sophie Molyneux, an Aboriginal artist and influencer who combines her passion for art with cultural heritage. She uses the platform to educate followers on Indigenous Australian history, art, and language. So there's no problem doing digital representations of It's just certain areas. Okay. Promotes inclusivity and deeper understanding of her culture. Michaela Jade, an Aboriginal content creator blending tech and tradition. That's interesting. She's used her Insta to showcase how Indigenous culture can be integrated with modern tech and digital storytelling. No shit. Often sharing insights into her work with VR and AR. Wow, so holy shit. So you can tell stories digitally. I thought that was off limits. Okay. On YouTube, there's Nakaya Lu, an Aboriginal comedian and a writer who has a strong following on the tubes. She's known for her satirical commentary on race, culture, and politics, blends humor with advocacy. She also appears in popular Aussie TV shows like Black Comedy and The Weekly. Samantha Harris is another prominent Aboriginal figure with a presence on YouTube. She's a Kalkadoon woman, focuses on Indigenous topics including cultural, language, and rights. Okay. Why haven't you seen them? Question, yeah. Could be that while Aboriginal creators are gaining traction in certain circles, they might not yet have the same widespread visibility as some other influencers in mainstream media. The mainstream media and social platforms are still catching up in terms of highlighting Indigenous creators and voices. So the algorithm's not in their favor. Niche content like this might not always be pushed into algorithm. Bingo, bango. And then they always finish it with a question. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I did not expect to have this conversation when I came out on this stream today at all. I love this about streaming, and I love that we can just sort of meander our way through the stratosphere and come out the other side. I'm going to grab myself a culturally significant beverage that we like to drink as Australians. It's called beer. In this case, it's beer that I made. It's a home brew. When we come back, we'll change angles here. What will we do? We'll change our slight angle here, and we'll take a look at some clipses. Probably just Toothboy, really. Hey, by the way, I went surfing today. Here's a video from the surf. Yeah! I just checked on the beamstream.gg and it looked like DLive wasn't running again. So I stopped it and started it again, and now it seems to be back up and running. Yeah, Beamstream's been having a little bit of a hissy fit lately. Not always working. I don't know why. Turn that off. If anyone's watching on Kick, can you confirm if it's working on Kick? By putting the words, type the command !drink and !pour. Those two will work, because I've got myself a brewski and I don't want to wait much longer, but I want to open it with the significance of everybody else enjoying. Am I going to wait, or am I just going to crack it? Should I just crack it? I'll just crack. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'll just crack it. Cheers, easers. This is a culturally significant beverage. It's the joining of barley, wheat, hops, and malt into a stout. It's called a brutal brew. I made it. There it is. Yo, Dalski, how you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it wasn't working on DLive. That's a few times now that I've had to just go in and manually check. I don't like having to manually check. Now that you're here, Dale, you said hold off on a few tabs until you're here. There's this one, Trump, Musk, pull curtain back behind relationship. This one here, the properties of gold restricted. Command R for the refresh of the trouser. This video here, the uploader has not made this video available in Australia. They don't like Australia. It's culturally insignificant. So I can't watch that. And then the other one you had was commercial spacecraft Blue Ghost. So let's take a look at the Trump one first. That's going to be weird. That's going to be weird. Full screen this.
I got to start with this. So he's working for free with Doge. He's kind of put a lot of his life on hold. And you sued Twitter a number of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well, I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really did a number on me, you know. And I sued, and they had to pay. They paid $10 million settlement.
You're okay with that?
I mean, I left it up to the lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's fun.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
You gave him a discount in the lawsuit.
He got a Oh, he got a big discount. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's become one of your. If you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
You don't care about that.
I know. I love the president.
You love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's, you know.
It's nice the way he said that. You know, there's something nice about it.
It really is. You know, because I mean, the president's been so.
Spit it out, man. I can't. Oh, I like Elon Musk, but I can't listen to him talk publicly. He's so bad.
I saw unfairly attacked in the media. It's really outrageous. And I've at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong. Not once.
You know, I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody take as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this, and I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
Well, you would say that to me. I'm like, what am I going to do? Worry about it? And, you know, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was
it.
Precipitating event. Yeah.
That speeded it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The day of the assassination.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know everything about Elon, because as I studied and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you. I just want people to understand you a little bit better, and the person that you've gotten to know and have now put a lot of trust in.
Sure.
And, you know, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all
Take
these.
a while. I mean, you know, I think the way you think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world and make life
show
better.
your shirt.
Yeah, and that's why I like my T-shirt says tech support, because I'm here to provide the president with technology support. And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly thing? But actually, it's a very important thing, because the president will make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then they don't get implemented. You know, so. If you take, for example, all the funding for the migrant hotels, the president issued an executive order where, hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants, which makes no sense. Like, so obviously, people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals, and yet they were still doing that, even as late as last week. And so, you know, we went in there and we're like, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the Doge team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And
Yo,
this is-
Music G over on YouTube subbed. Yo, thanks, Music G. Appreciate it.
I just want to point out, this is a very important thing, because the president is the elected representative of the
Come join us in the chat if you're interested. Music G. Music G.
people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president from implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
No. You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware, that the media and the punditry class, not that, you know, I think you've proven they have no power anymore, because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, you know, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks.
Trump looks smug. That's the word I'd use to describe him there. I'll go back a bit. That's smug Trump. Hey, he's like, yeah, I got this.
And that was, you know, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They just threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
He deserves to be smug.
They-
Yo, Grahimi, did you just sub on YouTube as well? Have you not subbed before, Grahimi? You were following my YouTube channel and chatting, but you hadn't subbed? Well, shit me. Thanks for subbing, dude.
They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, you know, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious.
Different accounts. How many accounts have you got, my friend? Shit. Grahimi.
So bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity.
Dalesky, Trump is performing at an exceptionally high level, which annoys the left. Interesting. I wish I could say the same about the Trump meme token. It is not performing.
Could do outside of you and a few of your very good friends.
Right.
It's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is I want people to know the relationship and know
He's
more
fixing
about you.
things that are very broken. Right. Okay.
What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Well, I respect him. I've always respected him. I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He did Starlink. He did things that were so advanced and nobody knew what the hell they were. I can tell you in North Carolina, they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were
Level
they had
32.
rivers in between. Land that never saw water, all of a sudden it was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, you know, Elon Musk. They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system that's...
Who did that over on Twitch? That was a little Twitch alert. Interesting.
unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah, and he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication, and it saved a lot of lives. He got it immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it. But he got it to him immediately, and I said, that's pretty amazing, and I didn't even know he had it. We watched the rocket ships, and we watch...
The rocket ships. We watched the rocket ships go up.
Tesla. I think, you know, something that had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed, like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby. It just...
Hug the rocket.
I've never
Grab your baby.
You grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby.
We've got to get it. We've got to get a audio dump of that. You grab your baby. Hold on.
And get grabbed like you...
Grab your baby. I gotta start doing Trump. There's got to be some Trump. Oh, we could Puerto Rico. We got to grab that one too. New audio recording from the Brave browser trouser. Just making a little audio recording here. Brave audio. No, we're in Firefox, aren't we? Firefox. We'll start the recording here.
Something that had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby. It just...
Hug the rocket.
I've never seen...
Grab your little beautiful little baby. Get a screenshot. Oh, that's perfect. Right there. Grab your little baby. I'm very proud to be an American the last few months. Nice one, Daleskins. Hell yeah. Actually, let's make that full screen and get that screenshot. We want him in all of his glory. Is that on high? What's the res there? 720? Yeah.
Yeah, no, but... And he said, you know, you can't really have a rocket program if you're going to dump $1 billion into the ocean every time you fly. You have to save it.
Right.
And he saved it. First time that I've ever seen that done. And nobody else can do it. If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it. And they won't be able to do it for a long time. He has the technology. So you learn... I wanted somebody really smart to work with me in terms of the country, a very important aspect. Because, I mean, he doesn't talk about it. He's actually a very good businessman. And when he talks about the executive orders, and this is probably true for all presidents, you write an executive order and you think it's done. You send it out. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get implemented. They don't implement it. Maybe they're from the last administration, and they are in some cases. You try and get them out.
So is Elon Musk part of the president? Like, is he part of the not the campaign, but is he I thought Doge was just like a government organization that he worked. Is he part of the presidential sitting? What is he? Is he a member of it? What? Elon is awkward and sucks at speaking coherently, but genius has its limitations. Yeah, he's very, very difficult to listen to. He's an advisor. Oh, okay. Okay, an advisor to the president.
As fast as you can. But I could, as soon as he said that, I said, you know, that's interesting. You write a beautiful executive and you sign it and you...
He's unpaid. Is that a fact? Unpaid. I mean, it's not like he needs the money, but okay, unpaid.
Assume it's going to be done, but it's not. What he does is he takes it, and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
they dress in just T-shirts. You wouldn't know they have 180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So what he's your tech support.
No, he is.
I actually
but he's
am
much
tech
more
support.
than that.
I actually am tech support, though. But
He gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done. You know, I said in real estate, you had guys that would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering. It would be great, and you say, great, when are you starting? But they were never able to get it built. They couldn't get the financing. They couldn't get the approvals. It would never get done. And then you have other guys that are able to get it done. You know, they could just get it done. I was in real estate. Same thing in this. He gets it done. So when he said that, he said, you know, when you sign these executive orders, a lot of them don't get done, and maybe the most important ones. And he would take that executive order that I'd sign, and he would have those people go to whatever agency it was. When are you doing it? Get it done, get it done. And some guy that maybe didn't want to do it, all of a sudden, he's signing. doesn't want to be bothered.
Do a lot of those executive orders have to be codified into law? Do you need the Republican Congress
and
to
they will
follow
be.
up?
A lot of them will be. Yeah.
They will.
But look, in the meantime, we have 4 years. The beauty is we have 4 years. That's why I like doing it right at the beginning, because an executive order is great. I mean, the one problem, it's both good and bad, because when they did all these executive orders, I've canceled most of them. They were terrible. I mean, we're going to go radical left communist. Okay, it was crazy. Their
Really crazy.
executive orders were so bad. If they ever got them codified, you'd never be able to break them. So the damage that Biden has done to this country, and it's not even Biden, it's the people.
Dalesky, some people are jealous of Trump and Musk's success and says a lot about them. Ooh, who's jealous here? Who are the jealous party?
People that circled him in the Oval Office, okay? But the damage they did to this country, in terms of, let's say, open borders, you know, there's so many things, but open borders where millions of people poured into our country, and hundreds of thousands of those people are criminals. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're gang members, they're people from prisons from all over the world. And we have a great guy, Tom Homan, and he is doing so incredibly. You saw the numbers, they're now like 90.
Did he say uncredibly?
And he is doing so incredibly. You saw.
Uncredibly.
And we have a great guy, Tom Homan, and he is doing so incredibly. You saw the numbers, they're now like
That's not the right word. Incredibly.
96%.
95%.
He is a phenomenal guy. And Kristi Noem is doing an unbelievable job. And he wanted her. He said, she's
Yeah,
so tough.
uncredibly. It's a Toothboy. That's what Toothboy would say, something like that. Yeah, for sure.
And I said, I don't think of her as that way. You know, she's very nice. He said, no, she's so tough. And she is. I see with the horses, she's riding the horse. Let's go. She's great. But the team we have is really unbelievable. But those executive orders, I sign them, and now they get passed on to him and his group and other people, and they're all getting done. We're getting them done.
Let me go back a little bit to your background, because
Sure.
it's beyond impressive. You were the chief engineer, for example. You were an early believer in Tesla. You became the CEO, and then the chief engineer, which was phenomenal. SpaceX, same thing, which is unbelievable. I mean, you were the first private company to send astronauts successfully into space, first private company to send astronauts into orbit.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Mars. He's going to fly on his.
At some point. Yeah.
Is in
I
over.
mean, they always ask me, like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
You go ahead.
Star Shield, which could be used for national defense.
Yeah, it is already being used for national defense.
Then you have what is it called? Optimus, a part of Tesla.
Oh, wow. Nice. We're going to Mars. When is the humans going to Mars? Dale, do you know? Has he made an official statement of that? Like, when is humankind going to Mars?
Robot, yeah.
A robotic arm. Then you have an AI arm, and then you have something that really fascinated me, and it's called Neuralink.
Yes.
You might help the blind to see,
Yes.
and people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover, where in the past, how close is that
Yeah.
to becoming a success?
The timeline is still fluid, but back to the moon first. Okay. So when's that happening? When's the moon mission? And how they're going to get past the Van Allen radiation belt? I love all that discussion online. The Van Allen radiation belt, they're never going to be able to get through it.
We've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics. And it
Moon
allows
is
them
2026 to 2029. Oh, it'll be 2029 because it'll be like 1969 all over again, approx. Yeah.
to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's like, so we call this product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking. And it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then
Mars will be in the
next step would be
2030s?
to
Okay.
add a
Cool.
second Neuralink implant past the point where the neurons are damaged, so that somebody can walk again, and so they can have full body functionality restored. And
you like Bobby, right?
I like Bobby, actually, yeah. I think I supported Bobby Kennedy. I think he's unfairly maligned as someone who is anti-science, but I think he isn't. He just wants to question the science, which is the essence of the science. The scientific method fundamentally is about always questioning the science.
Well, they didn't tell us the truth about COVID.
Correct.
That's for sure.
Yes.
And we learned a lot with the Twitter files. And that just then raises a question. You're the richest man in the world. You may not like that part. You're pretty competitive.
It's neither here nor there.
I've
I
known
don't
you a
know if it
long time.
matters.
But
That's why I
but he's on your team.
president.
Well, that's true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over.
Hey Siri, how old is Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is 53 years old.
53. He's quite young. Potential president next cycle? Is there any indication of him running? Dalesky, my opinion, the clowns are lame non-achievers who try to criticize those who do things. Yeah, man, that's always the way, isn't it?
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You
I
really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this
Well,
guy.
thanks for having me.
So
I'm just trying to be useful
this is
here.
the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and
I really like this join up. I love this Trump Elon thing. I think it's a good mix, a good fit. You know, they work well together. I like it. I like this.
I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. Nobody at Doge gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some are,
they do-
okay.
Yeah,
They're helping.
But it's fair to say that the software engineers at Doge could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Okay, so just
And they're very committed people.
so
Yes.
you're committed to helping the blind see.
Yeah, great team,
people with
fully,
spinal
man.
cord injuries recover.
Yes.
You're committed to getting to
Powerhouse is how I describe it.
Mars. You're committed to rescue. You're going to help rescue next month 2 astronauts that I think were abandoned. They dispute that in an interview.
When are you
At
getting
the
them?
president's request or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
They've been there. They were supposed to be there 8 days. They're there almost 300.
Biden.
They were
Yeah.
Yes, they were left up there for political reasons, which is not good.
Wow,
Okay, it's not good.
that's fucked.
Now,
I heard about that. What's the crack there? What's the story with those astronauts? You got a link to that, Daleskis? What's the crack with that? I heard a bit about that.
had the weight of the pressure of doing that successfully on my shoulders, I think I'd be, But when we spoke before we did this interview, you are very confident. You think this will be a successful mission.
Well, we don't want to be complacent, but we have brought astronauts back from the space station many times before, and always with success. So
They're coming back in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, but how did they end up getting stuck up there? Like, sounds like something out of like a Star Trek episode or something. Like, how does it? What goes on? Like, what all falls into place to leave these dudes up there?
as long as we're not complacent.
And who are they? They're Americans, right?
When are you going to launch?
I think it's about 4 weeks to bring them back.
About 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And
We're
have
being
the go-ahead.
extremely cautious. Yeah.
You now have the go-ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks to you.
They didn't have the go-ahead with Biden.
The Boeing ship that took them up had problems. So first of all, there's a few things at play here. So it's not unusual for humans to go up to the International Space Station to do work and research and whatnot, and they go and they come. Like, it's quite common. But how did this? So they had issues with their spacecraft, their vehicle, let's just call it, and so they couldn't return. So what? They just got left there? Like, what? I don't get it.
what's
He
that?
was going to leave him in space. I think he was going to leave him in space.
Well, it's
So,
like
so Biden just went, oh yeah, they'll be okay. What? Just keep working up there, folks.
He
we were growing up lost in space.
Yeah, he didn't want the publicity. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. And
Fuck, that's
so
weird.
Yeah.
I want to echo something that the president said and then ask an overarching question. So people get hit with Hurricane Helene. They have no communication with the outside world. You come to the rescue. You donated that, I
Yes,
believe?
yes.
Okay. You donated to the people.
He saved a lot of lives
in
North Carolina.
Biden was a disaster, pathetic president, dude. Just watching from a distance, from like Yeah, that whole Biden stuff, dude, just useless. Useless. I mean, it's basically a corpse, a walking corpse, right? How can he make any kind of informed decisions? It's just, that was, that was a joke of a president.
Saved a lot of lives.
And California after the wildfires?
California, but I mean, in North Carolina, where they were really in trouble, they had no communication. People were dying. They were dying of starvation. He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina.
Okay, now you're going to rescue astronauts. And now, and again, you do all of this. I would think liberals would love the fact that you have the biggest electric vehicle company in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be adored by the left, you know.
Yeah, not anymore.
Less so these days.
He killed that, huh?
I mean, less.
I really didn't know.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of like, you know, they call it like Trump derangement syndrome, and I didn't, you know, you don't realize how real this is until like you can't reason with people. So like I was at a friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And then I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before, I happened to mention the president's name. And it was like they got shot with a dart in the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies, okay? And they're like, wow! And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, guys, like, you can't have like a normal conversation. Yeah. And it's like, it's like they become completely irrational.
He has no idea, but if you're friends with him, you pay a price. You know, it's like I walk in a restaurant in New York and it's like half the room gets daggers and they want to.
No, the eye daggers level is insane. Yeah. I mean, there was like I had like some invitation because so I got invited to like basically a big sort of damn event like that was, but it received the invitation like the beginning of last year, and I still attended even after I had endorsed President Trump. And I didn't realize how profoundly that would affect, you know, how I was received. I mean, I walk into the room and I'm getting just the dirty looks from everyone. Like, if looks could kill, I would have been dead several times over.
But that was not before Trump.
Like, BC, ashes on the floor.
Before Trump, that never happened, right?
Yo, cheers, Dale. By the way, man, I got to tell you, this brew. Let's just pause that. This brew is absolutely incredible. This is probably in the last year or so, this is definitely one of the better brews I've made. So good. It's just perfect stout. Loving it. Let's move on. Commercial spacecraft Blue Ghost nails a moon landing. Oh, not human, but landing on the moon. The moon's fake, and so is 4G, 5G, 6G, all the Gs, they're all fake. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What the fuck is that music, dude? That wasn't this YouTube video. Where was that coming from? Where was that music coming from? That's weird. Refresh your trousers. What was that? Was that this? Well, that was odd. That was really odd. The video wasn't. That was bizarre. The video wasn't playing, but the audio of the video was playing. That's going to be weird. That's got to be the first time that's ever happened, right? I pressed play. The video didn't advance, yet the playhead was moving, but the video wasn't moving. That's going to be weird. That was confusing. Wow. Please tell me this isn't a whole video like this.
Firefly Aerospace has pulled off a historic feat. Its Blue Ghost Mission 1 has
I've
successfully...
got a different gold video. Yeah. Link me up. Put it wherever you want, dude. I think you can put links in Kick chat. I don't know. I'm not too sure where links go, but wherever you need to, slide it in.
landed on the moon, making it the first fully successful commercial lunar landing. The achievement pushes NASA's partnership with private industry further.
NASA? Did you say NASA? There you go. Thanks, Daleskins. I'll grab that out.
The achievement pushes NASA's partnership with private industry further, shaping the future of lunar exploration. Announcing the milestone on X, Firefly confirmed, Blue Ghost stuck the landing. This small step on the moon represents a giant leap in commercial exploration. The company credited its team, mission partners, and NASA for what it called an incredible feat that paves the way for future missions to the moon and Mars.
Notice the gold plating on the Firefly lunar lander. Is that what gold's being used for? Okay, so it's not a store of value. It's useful for lunar landings. I'll keep that in mind whenever I'm going to create my next lunar lander.
Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost lander has also sent back its first visual dispatch from the moon, a photo of the lunar soil beneath its feet. Bridget Oakes from Firefly praised the lander's precision landing, stating,
Is this going to transition? It's useful for many. Is this going to transition into, this is why you need to get some hard gold in your portfolio, dude? None of this crypto shit, or some of it, but also gold. Come on, man.
navigation system did such a phenomenal
By
job.
the way, I'm in a much better mood than I was yesterday. You were right, dude. I was on edge yesterday. This all stems from having a bad surf. First world problems, but I had a better surf today, so therefore I'm in a better mood. It's so stupid, but it's true.
Finding what looks
Perhaps.
like a relatively flat surface for us to land on. Nicknamed Ghost Riders in the Sky, the mission comes just over a year after the world's first commercial moon landing. On board the lander are 10 scientific instruments, including a lunar soil analyzer, a radiation-tolerant computer,
An
and
analyzer.
an experiment testing global satellite navigation for moon travel. Blue Ghost will also capture a lunar sunset, giving scientists insights into how dust levitates under solar influence.
Correct me if I'm, or slap me to the face if I'm being insolent here, but why is the moon grey? Like, that's obviously a color image. You can see color in the bottom of the spacecraft, but why is the surface of moon grey? Is it devoid of color, or is it just the imaging? Very good question, question mark. Yeah, like, is the moon grey? Hey Siri, what color is the moon?
The surface of the moon is generally a light grey colour, although there are parts of the moon that are made up of dark grey rocks. This answer is from reference.com. For more, say open this on iPhone.
I don't give a shit where it's from, Siri. Just tell me the information and shut up. It's the geology. Yeah. Okay. I just thought it, like in the early days, like in the 60s, I thought it was just because they didn't have good color renditioning on televisions, but it's actually the color of the moon. Yeah, right.
An effect first observed by Apollo astronaut Eugene
It's the
Cernan.
geology of it, the red sand stuff, yeah. Oh, by the way, I had a great idea. Let's pause for a second. I had a great idea what I could do with those sandbags. We could buy sand, what are they called? Timers? Egg timers. Egg timers. And I could fill them with red sand. Would anyone want one? Would anyone want a Gives a Minute red soil egg timer? Would that stuff work? We could do that. Would work in a egg timer, right? It's kind of coarse. You just tip it up. That'd work. Yeah, we could do each like 3 different versions, and then you could get the whole set. It could be like a collectible. It's like an NFT, but it's very fungible. We gotta watch that too. I want to watch that clip again too. I'll get it. I'll get this out. I want to watch this after the gold video. I want to watch. You guys remember this? Where's the YouTube? This what is an NFT video? I thought this was the only one from this channel. What's going on with YouTube? Command R. That's weird. This was the only fun video from this person. I sent it to Duncan. I could find it from her. It's from a channel called, I'll just put satire in it. I'll find it. Anyway, I'll find it. But we'll watch that as well. Play skins. I'll get it.
The Blue Ghost Mission 1 is a robotic lunar mission designed to explore the moon and gather valuable scientific data. Led by Firefly Aerospace under a $101 million contract with NASA, this mission is part of a larger effort to prepare for future human exploration. After launching from Earth, the lander travelled across space to reach the Mare Crisium region on the moon. Once on the surface, it began conducting experiments to study lunar soil, measure radiation levels, and observe how dust behaves in the moon's environment. But this mission is not just about science. Blue Ghost also captured a stunning blue marble image, a breathtaking view of Earth from the moon's surface, reminding us of how far we've come in space exploration. With a planned mission duration of about 2 weeks, Blue Ghost is sending valuable data back to NASA before the extreme cold of lunar night forces it to shut down. This mission is a stepping stone towards the future, helping NASA's Artemis program pave the way for a sustained human presence on the moon and beyond.
3, 2.
By the way, did the Flat Earth community debunk all this? Oh, those images of Earth, they're fake.
1. Ignition. And
The Blue Ghost Mission 1 embarked on a meticulously planned journey, navigating the vast expanse between Earth and the Moon to deliver critical scientific payloads to Mare Crisium. This mission, part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services (CLPS) initiative, required precise orbital maneuvers and engineering precision to ensure a successful landing. Blue Ghost was launched atop a SpaceX Falcon 9, a 2-stage reusable rocket known for its high reliability and precise orbital insertion capability. Upon liftoff, the first stage of Falcon 9 provided the initial thrust before detaching and returning to Earth for reuse. Meanwhile, the second stage continued accelerating the payload, placing Blue Ghost into a low Earth orbit, LEO. Once in
By the
LEO,
way, it's MD
the
Witt's birthday, is it now? Happy. Oh, she's not here, but is she going to be live at all? Happy birthday, MD Witt, if you're watching this on the replay.
lander underwent system checks, ensuring all instruments were operational before executing a translunar injection, TLI, burn. This maneuver, performed by the second stage of Falcon 9, propelled Blue Ghost onto a lunar transfer trajectory, setting it on course for the Moon. During its journey, Blue Ghost followed a carefully calculated lunar transfer orbit, gradually closing the distance to the Moon. Small mid-course correction burns were conducted using the lander's onboard propulsion system, ensuring precise trajectory alignment. These adjustments were crucial to counteract gravitational
We're going to do a
perturbations
Code DJ stream, but plans fell through. That's a shame. Ah, well. I mean, is it wrong to ask how old she turned? That is wrong, isn't it? Nobody wants
Earth,
to know.
the Moon, and the Sun. Compensate for launch dispersion to maintain the targeted landing zone. Throughout this phase, Blue Ghost's navigation and control systems used star trackers, sun sensors, and onboard gyroscopes to maintain stability and ensure proper orientation for communications with Earth via NASA's Deep Space Network, DSN. During its lunar approach phase, Blue Ghost executed one of its most visually stunning achievements, capturing a spectacular blue marble selfie with the Moon in the background. Using high-resolution
That's not the moon in the
blue
background.
marble selfie with the moon in the background.
That is not the moon in the background. How wrong could you get that? That is planet Earth. She's over 21, so she can drink one of your brewskis.
Using high-resolution cameras, the lander positioned itself to frame Earth as a distant, glowing sphere, while showcasing the moon's cratered surface beneath it.
Wow, that's the shot.
This image not only provided a symbolic reminder of humanity's deep space ambitions, but also demonstrated precise spacecraft orientation.
Oh, Dale, something completely separate. This is just I don't know why this reminded me of it, but just wanted to tell you, and I don't know, it's just so stupid, but anyway. So I like watching movies, and I just started watching on IMDb. There's a list of 250 of the greatest movies of all time, and I'm just going through that list. And last night it was the third film. By the way, the list is always updating and changing, but when I took the snapshot of it, this was the third greatest film of all time, The Dark Knight, right? And I'm not really into it, but I'm just gonna say this: I found it very difficult to watch that film because of the Joker, and when I say the Joker, I'm referring to the one that you and I know of from the D-Live days. I found that film. But by the way, I'm not into that Batman, all that shit. But anyway, because it's the third greatest film of all time, I figured I should watch it. And I just couldn't separate how fucking lame that Joker guy was to take that character. And I knew that he'd taken that character as his own, right? He stole it and made it him. But I just couldn't watch the film without thinking about that guy, like that dude. And it sucked, hey. It sucked because I wanted to. It ruined the whole film. It ruined the whole film because of what this streamer has done and stolen that character. You're trying to piss me off? Yeah, I'm just saying. That's what happened last night. I sat down and I dedicated the 2 hours and 40 minutes to watch The Dark Knight, and even the smallest thing, like when on the film the Joker character does this thing with his tongue, like it's a thing that he does to enhance the character. I've seen the streamer do that, and I'm like, You stole even the smallest, subtlest, like, it just infuriated me that someone could just rip off a character from a film and parade it around like it's his own thing. It's just awful, yeah. So yeah, nice work, streamer Joker. You ruined films. You ruined the third greatest film of all time because you took that and made it your own and tried to parade it like it's something that you created. You're just stealing content. Fucking shit. Yeah. Anyway, I thought I don't know why watching this just reminded me of that, but I think the craters on the moon or something. I don't know what it was.
And imaging capabilities, crucial for future missions requiring autonomous visual navigation.
3,
As Blue Ghost neared the moon, it conducted a crucial lunar orbit insertion, LOI.
He hates me as well. All good. I mean, look, I don't know what the dude does these days. I don't give a shit. But let me predict what happened. He was all about Kick for a long while. I'm sure that all blew over and he ruined that community. I'm sure he's into the next community and he's just blowing that shit out of proportion. And then they'll hate him and he'll move on to the next one. So whatever it is, I don't care.
Slowing its velocity.
My point here is that he ruined that film. And I'm hoping, I haven't looked, I've only looked at the top 20 films. There's definitely going to be more Batman films in there, surely. If number 3 was, well, hang on, I don't even know where The Dark Knight fits in, but I know it's not Batman and it's not Batman Returns. So it's got to, it's probably the third film of the Batman series and it's the third greatest film of all time. So those other ones are going to be in there as well. And I've got to put up with that again.
Captured by lunar gravity. This burn was executed using the lander's main engine, precisely timed to ensure the correct orbit for descent. Once in lunar orbit, the spacecraft underwent final system diagnostics to check thrusters.
I'm sorry, Dale. I can't watch this. It's AI generated. There's an indicator at that pause. Listen to this.
Orbit, the spacecraft underwent final system diagnostics.
I'm not. This is not a reflection of you. But if you give me a link that's AI generated, I'm not into it. AI generated slop on YouTube should be. There should be a separate tab. It should be YouTube, and that's all the creators that create actual content. And then there's a separate area of YouTube for AI generated content. And there, at that point, you're not paying. Why should we be watching content that's not human created and giving them the view and bumping them up in the algorithm? We should be bumping up the actual creators that create content, not this AI generated garbage. So sorry, but it's out. Gold.
And that could
No
be
worries, not like I
something.
made it. Yeah, and the problem is that we're going to be. It's easy to spot AI generated slop these days, but as that moves on, we're going to have a more difficult time trying to decipher what is AI generated. But that pause is a. I was skeptical from the beginning, and then there was that big pause. I was like, "That's it, I'm done."
Today, I'm on a very amateur hunt for a very unique material, gold. It's one of humanity's oldest treasures, but it keeps reinventing itself with the times. It's been a status symbol, a currency, a garnish, a future material, and a lot more.
Absolutely.
It came from outer space and ends up locked away in vaults. It lasts forever.
Wait! Gold came from outer space? Can't there be more gold?
I've always thought about gold as this rarest of rare treasures, but I also found out recently that it's apparently.
Oh, you
not
cracked
that-
your beer, Atomic Torpedo, Sierra Nevada IPA, right? Fucking A, man. That's Marty's favorite too, right? Yeah.
that hard to find around here, which completely messes with my whole
Yep.
idea of what gold's
Nice.
about.
So, welcome to my latest obsession. I'm going to try to understand what makes gold so valuable and find out whether it's actually all that rare.
I think I might have something.
I'll tell you what you've got, buddy. I'll tell you what you've got. You've got a beautiful looking image there. That is a cracking day. The light just glistening behind him. That's beautiful.
Tiny.
Looks like New Zealand.
So if I want to find some gold myself, I need to understand the journey that it goes on. A lot of wild stuff happened to get gold here to Earth. Cosmic explosions that chucked metals like gold out into the...
Sorry. This is answering my question. Gold came from outer space. But do you remember that period of YouTube where Draw My Life and everybody was putting images and like telling a story and then a new image would come? That's what this reminds me of, like laying down photos.
I need to understand the journey that it goes on. A lot of wild stuff happened to get gold here to Earth.
Yeah.
Cosmic explosions that chucked metals like gold out into the universe, a massive shower of metal-rich meteors that may have pounded the early Earth. It's all surprisingly controversial. What we know is that there's currently gold peppered throughout the Earth's crust and mantle. It collects in areas called veins. Basically, super hot water dissolves gold deep underground, brings it closer to the surface, and drops it
I just farted.
in veins as the water cools. If a vein surfaces via erosion, the gold is weathered away into little bits and carried downstream by rivers. This is known as placer gold, and it's what we're after. The key to finding placer gold is its density. Gold is about 19 times denser than water, meaning only quickly flowing water can carry it. So you can expect to find gold.
So wait a second. Dumb question here. If that's the way gold's entered, comes from outer space into the Earth's atmosphere, how come it's not in the oceans? Sorry to ask such a dumb question, but why is it only like freshwater streams? Why did it not land in the ocean? Dude looks like Toothboy's ugly twin, kind of.
Gold wherever a river slows down. Like
That beer is really kicking in, isn't it? It is in the oceans. Oh, you don't hear people mining gold at the beach, though. Why can't you mine gold? Like, why can't you panhandle gold at the beach, like mining it, like sieving it and shit?
Here, along an inside bend, or here, where water deflects around a big rock. In either case, the current
In
uses
Alaska,
up-
they mine it in the surf? Is that right, dude? Okay. All right.
up, and the gold drops to the riverbed. Which river to look in, that part's anyone's guess. Gold has been found all over the mountains here in Washington. But with the help of a local amateur miner, I got a tip. And just past the bridge, there's a turnoff to a park? Okay, good enough for me.
I've got the exact same flannel as him.
So let's talk about why humans want gold so desperately. According to the Gold Council, which is a trade group, its biggest single use historically is jewelry. It accounts for almost half of all gold ever mined. That's about 93,000 metric tons.
So jewelry is the biggest use case, 47 percentile. It's easier and cheaper to mine on land? Okay, fair enough.
Then there are the industrial or practical uses for gold. Gold's great for dentists because it can be shaped into long-lasting fillings. It's also used as a conductor in electronics. There's an arthritis medicine made of gold. There are coronavirus tests that use gold. It really runs the gamut.
Just threw that word out there, coronavirus. Remember there was a time on YouTube not that long ago where you couldn't even say that word? He just threw that in there willy-nilly.
So what's up with that last 35–40%? Right now there's about 75,000 tons of gold that's just being used as a thing that has value. It's formed into bars or coins and accumulated by governments and banks and investors. It's not being used for anything practical, but it holds value, largely because we all just agree that it does.
Sounds a bit like crypto. It's not being used for anything, but it has value because we all just agree that it does. That is crypto.
Banks and investors. It's not being used for anything practical, but it holds value, largely because we all just agree that it does.
Works for me.
Out in the field, it's time to put my research to the test.
Hey, buddy.
Morning.
Ready to go get some gold?
Yes.
Seamless.
Okay. The whole river is kind of arcing widely this way, so we're on the inside bank, which is a good thing.
It's cold.
I think we just start digging and see what happens. Now, ideally, we want to get as close to the bedrock layer as possible. As the gold moves through here, it sifts down through all this lighter material.
Hey, dumb question. If you find gold in nature, do you pay taxes on it? Most gold miners go bankrupt. A few strike it rich.
Until it hits that bedrock layer. So for us, that either means finding exposed bedrock, or it means digging. And filter out the biggest stuff. Okay. So what I'm doing here just to start is getting all of this gunk suspended in a layer of water so that I can start to filter out the lightest stuff. The really light stuff is going to be the stuff that kind of dissolves in the water. And then I can start to let the lightest rocks tip off.
People own the mineral rights. They usually allow a mine and they take a percentage. Okay, fair enough.
Their stuff will sink to the bottom of the pan.
That's fair.
So that eventually
I will say this, man, and because I've been using TikTok quite a lot lately, and I've sort of been growing my channel on TikTok, I've noticed a lot of gold panning content. It seems like it's a thing right now. Like a lot of kids are panning for gold. Yeah, it's a thing.
Is the heaviest stuff. That's going to be some black sand. It's made of different kinds of irons, and that's going to be gold. The point of this last step is to get it as spread out as possible across the bottom of the pan, so even the tiniest little flake will show up.
Wow.
Nope.
Sure.
Clean plate club. Back to it.
This process is fun, but it does not capture the scale and stakes of the modern gold industry.
How
Most
come?
gold
How
comes
could
from
he be? How could he be sure that that wasn't gold? Like, shouldn't he have tested it? Like, run it over a gold detector or something?
hard rock mining. That means digging up
15%?
and processing
Okay.
the veins of gold while they're still in the earth. It's difficult and dangerous work, and it's too easy to do poorly. The chemicals used, like cyanide and mercury,
Gold doesn't
can
rust.
leak and
One reason the ancients thought it was godly and eternal. Yeah. You know what Elon's going to do, man? Elon's going to find a planet made of gold. I mean, it'll happen, right? There'll be something out there that's like, yeah, this planet, it'll be like so far away, but he'll be like, dude, we've discovered there is a planet and its base mineral is what we equate as gold. And they'll be like, fuck, what?
pollute groundwater. Mining can scar the land for years to come. Butte, Montana sits next to a former mine that's now a massive toxic lake.
The emperor of the
area
galaxy.
is one of the largest Superfund sites in the nation. What's more,
That reminds me of Mary Kathleen, where I
the
went.
demand for gold drives millions of people around the world to engage in smaller scale, often unregulated mining. This exposes countless workers to mercury poisoning, many of them children. Accidents and other dangers abound. Overall, it's an industry with a reputation for crushing work and very long odds.
Better off just mining Bitcoin.
Late in the afternoon, a possible breakthrough.
Looking for any little sparkle. Oh, wait, what's that? Our little sparkly guy there. You see it?
Oh, no, I see it.
That's about the size we're likely to find. I don't know. I can't even tell what I'm looking at. It might not be.
That is gold mining in a nutshell.
Wow.
After a day of digging and
I gotta say this. I would like to do that, what he's doing there. I think that would be fun. I'm not suggesting I would like to do it all the time, but I would like to do it at least once or twice and just pan for gold. Just be cool, right? Just be fun.
lifting hundreds of pounds of earth moved, we've got this one tiny little fleck of maybe gold.
Got it.
Which gets at the other side of why gold is so valuable.
99% of profitable miners are medium to large scale. Yeah, look, and I wouldn't be doing it to strike it rich or anything, but I'd do it because it's a hobby. You're right. The guys who pan, it's a hobby. Yeah. So I'd be doing it probably just for a live stream, just for shits and giggles. I'd like to do it with like some kind of device that could confirm on the fly that is gold. Like I wouldn't want to find specks in a pan after 7 hours of faffing around and then not even sure if it's gold or not. But I'd like to be able to tell on the spot kind of thing. Look at this Twitch.
Not rare per se, but it's hugely difficult to mine at any real volume. For every ton of rock processed at an average deposit, you can expect about 0.03 of an ounce of gold. That works out to about 1 part per million. So the gold supply is often more about economics than geology. Mining companies today have a lot of what they call gold resources. It's gold they've got earmarked, but are avoiding for now.
That's a great shot. Wow, that looks beautiful. Damn, dude.
Because mining it will literally cost more than it's worth.
And that's what gold scarcity really means. We know where it is and how to get it.
You know where the gold is, dude? It's in your beard, man. That is a beautiful gold beard. Enhanced by the parka he's wearing, which has got gold coloring. You've really highlighted your beautifulness.
It's just costly.
Tooth Boy's
in every
ugly
sense of the word.
second cousin.
There are ongoing efforts to improve gold mining. Campaigns like No Dirty Gold fight for better labor standards.
Parallels
environmental
between crypto and gold is interesting. Parallels between crypto and gold. Well, yeah, like he said earlier, we deem there's a value to gold because we agree that there is, which is the basic concept of commerce. Something's got value because we all say that it does. Pretty cool.
protections, and oversight. International mining agreements have come online, as have stronger guidelines within mining companies.
Except,
And
of course, NFTs, which we'll get to in a
In
moment.
theory, there are more exotic ways to feed our gold habit. There are gold deposits across the seafloor and some early efforts to mine
Seafloor.
them. Or there's outer space. Asteroids in our own solar system contain troves of precious metals, if we can get at them.
Yo, Luke, how you doing, man? Over on YouTube. How you doing, Luke? It's been a while. Now there's a crypto reserve in the US, Crypto Fort Knox. If you do, yeah, there's a Federal Reserve based of crypto. Yeah, dude.
But
Some interesting cryptos in that as well, right? There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, there's Cardano, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. There's 4 of them, isn't there? I'm alive. How are you? I'm also alive. Hell yeah, to be alive.
again, gold isn't valuable unless you can sell it for more than it costs to get it. For now, that math
You've been
says
really
to
busy. You moved, didn't you, Luke? You moved, I believe.
dig some more holes in the ground. After tearing up half a riverbank, I kept thinking about the why of the gold industry. Most gold is dug up for beauty, for status, or just for abstract value. It's basically mined for the sake of a metaphor.
He's
And it's a
camping out.
metaphor we clearly still believe in.
Wait. How did this become a camping trip?
With the onset of the pandemic,
This
gold
guy's
shot
cool,
up-
man. He's interspliced. I'm just going to chill out by a campfire with my guitar into a gold video. I moved about 7 months ago. I've been busy with my new partner for 4.5 months. Ooh, a new partner. Luke, didn't you have a child with the last partner? That's gonna be a big change. Hope it's going well, man.
value, like it often does when times are uncertain. That's us betting against the modern economy, against our governments and our leaders.
I went
and
through
our
a
future.
divorce and everything. Holy
It's a
shit,
vote.
man. Really heavy, dude. That's heavy. Ouch. I hope you're okay now.
For this thing that we all like that never changes, that'll be around long after we're gone. The next morning was 38 degrees and hailing.
Hey Siri, what's 38 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
38 degrees Fahrenheit is 3.3 degrees Celsius.
Oh shit, that's cold. Just above freezing.
We were cold and wet, but the campsite was right next to the river, so we took one last crack at panning. Wait. That is a little piece of gold. That's freaking ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm all right, doing better mentally, physically. Still see my son. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's big changes. You've got a child and you've got a new partner and you went through a divorce. Heavy, man. Heavy duty. Sorry you had to go through that.
We got some gold. We found gold in a hailstorm.
And sorry, I gotta do it.
Dalesky, my new partner is the love of my life. This is the same. Yeah, Dale, you're you got your shit together. Good, nicely done.
Rika.
Oh, that's how that ends. I want to take a pause here to go and get myself either a rum. I'm going to get one of those pineapple rums and cola, or a Jack. I'll make a decision what that is, and then we'll come back and we'll just look at this NFT. This is a funny video about what NFTs are. It's pretty funny. But I did go surfing today, and yeah, Dale, I know you came in a bit later, and Luke's here as well. I had a shitty surf yesterday, and I was in a bad mood because of it. Today I got better. It's still not. Well, it was more fun out there, and I haven't been in a bad mood because of it. Here's the clip. I'll be right back. Shit. How long have you been back for? Anyway, I made a Jack instead of a rum. I know you saw me kissing the bottle. I was being stupid. But I will tell you this. The Jack Daniel's bottle has changed recently. You might notice it if you're the ever discerning consumer like I am. You'll notice that this is the old one. It's a square bottle. The new one is more rounded. Just saying. Ben on, you perv. We saw that. I kind of know you saw it, but I was being stupid. So we're going to take a look at this extremely funny video kissing Jack's ass. I couldn't stop myself. I've got real Coke. Not often I have real Coke, but I've got a little of it left, and I thought, you know what? I've got this rum here, this pineapple red leg spiced pineapple rum. It's kind of nice and sweet. I don't know. It's kind of like it's like an icy pole or something. I don't know, but I figured I'll just have a Jack. Maybe I'll have another one of those. I'll have one of those as well later. I don't know. But there's a funny video here. It's from a channel called Julie Nolke. Now, I will tell you this, a little heads up. We did look into her channel, and I did not find anything else she did to be funny. I found whatever else she put up to be cringe. Yet this, what is an NFT? This video is really smart and very... Love a good trumpet. This video is smart and very, very well done. If you don't know, she does this thing where she tells a story to herself, and so she plays both characters, like split screen style. It's very, 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 very well done. Check this out. This'll make you very, very aware of what an NFT is.
Yo. Yeah? You ever heard of NFTs?
I've heard of them.
Guess who has 2 thumbs and just bought one?
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. NFTs are literally so sick. So happy I finally got one.
How would you explain
Sorry?
an NFT?
Oh, are you asking what an NFT is?
No, no, I know what it is. I just wondering how like to a layman.
Why do you want me to explain it? If you already know what it is.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have the same definition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Of course. Well, I mean, like, so first off, it's a non-fungible token.
That's right. That's right.
So the basics of it is that it's not fungible. You can't funge it.
Right. And if you tried to funge it,
You wouldn't be able to. And there's no point,
right.
frankly.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. And fungible. Can you just refresh me on that?
Do you not know what funding is?
The word no, I know the word fungible. I just want to I want to make sure we're on the same page with our definition.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. It's so funging. Well, it dates back. So.
Dale, this is very cleverly done. I'll stop it and say it's a lot of this is the timing. Like she's done this. I would love to see a behind the scenes of how this was created, because it's so perfectly timed, and I wonder how many takes it took her to nail this down. Exactly, Luke. She's done this perfectly. Yeah, and it's such a shame, because the rest of her content, it doesn't even, like, I tried. I really tried, and I really hated, or hate's a strong word. I loathed her other content, whereas this thing, I've got a playlist, a private playlist called Watch Later, and it's just all the cool stuff, like, you know, Charlie Bit My Finger and the unicorn and he's climbing in your windows, all that cool stuff. And this is in there because this is so good, yet it seems maybe someone else wrote this for her, because the rest of her stuff is so lame. Sorry, Julie.
Funging, well, it dates back. So in the 15th century BC, it was it's an agricultural term.
That's right.
So it was when you were funging, when they were funging the fields and whatnot. So like wheat, corn, rice. You know, it's like comes to the there's a verb to funge.
Same page so far.
And then so non-fungible is the opposite of that. So take everything I just said and it's none of that.
Get rid of it completely.
Exactly.
Great. And so great. Do you have a visual example?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so there. So this one is fungible, non-fungible.
Can you just show me that one more time?
Yeah, for sure. So fungible,
yeah,
non-fungible. Fungible,
Super clear.
Non-fungible.
It's interesting because I know that obviously one, but they how do you tell the difference?
Well, it's so you can't. There's no difference visually. Like to the eye, they are identical. That's just like part of it. That's like one of the things about it.
Ah, right. I remember reading something about. And how do you tell?
Well, because one. Right. Because you can funge
one. Yes. Well, of course. Right. And
yeah, it's like so. This. Where's this one? Well, my name is on a list.
The no funge list.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, try to funge that right now. Try to funge it.
I can't.
It's non-fungible.
It's non-fungible.
Yeah, and it's all they do this because it's all it's part of the blockchain.
That's right.
This is so cringe. Fungible on pizza, yes or no? You talking about mushrooms? So the point of this is that she is illustrating the questions that many people had around NFTs when they first. So first of all, you had to get your head around blockchain and crypto, and then they give you this NFT thing. People were like, what the fuck is this? Non-fungible token? Are you kidding me? I'm still trying to wrap my head around blockchain and cryptocurrency, and here comes this other thing. So like, people were spending a lot of money on this, and they were getting shafted left, right, and center. I think this is brilliant is really well timed. This needed to be made, and I think it just highlights the insanity around this NFT craze. Let me be clear about this. Like when NFTs came out, or when the first kind of concept of NFTs came, even I was learning, right? And I'm still learning, but I was at that point in my crypto sort of, I'm not going to say career, but in the crypto learn, I was still new. And then NFTs came around and I was like, what is this? This is digital ownership verifiable on a blockchain of an asset that might not actually be the thing. So you're not buying the thing, you're buying the digital representation of ownership of the thing. And so the blockchain stores the record of what you've bought, but the thing that it points to, that can be changed. So that's why NFTs to me were like, what the fuck are you talking about? All I'm buying is the representation on the chain that I did this, yet the thing that I did is not immutable. That can be changed. That can be unhosted. That can be removed. I was like, that's crazy. It's like, what on earth are we talking about here? So I'm proving on chain that I'd paid an amount of money to own this link, but the link, the thing that it's linking to, that can be changed willy-nilly. Are you out of your mind? Like, what on earth are you talking about? So I think this video popped up right at that time when it was like, so what is an NFT and how do I make millions of dollars off it? And by the way, why is NFTs generally, why are they generally linked to these low res, 8-bit, 16-bit images? Why is that? I mean, that's just marketing, right? Like they don't have to be linked to these lousy, stupid gimmicky images. That's just how it's kind of like, I think they did that because Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft is a game which uses lousy graphics, like super lousy, like it looks lame. Yet every kid, Poopsie included, right? Every kid froths at it. Whereas when I was a kid, when I was Poopsie's age, we were all talking about, hey, the graphics in this game look great. They look really realistic. It's getting close to being lifelike. And then you get this compute power that just gets bigger and more powerful and bigger and cheaper and more powerful. And all of a sudden, you get to this point where graphics on computer games are awesome. And some dude goes, let's make a game that has shit graphics. Go back to like 16-bit shit. Like, fuck, are you kidding me? We're still working our way up to like the actual beautiful 3D renderings of like Avatar and all that. We're trying to do that. And some guy goes, no. Let's go back. Let's go right back. And the kids are going, Minecraft, yeah. And so NFTs, when they first popped up, they were using lousy 8-bit renders of JPEGs and they were selling that shit. This thing just popped. I think it's insane how this came about. I can honestly say I didn't buy a single NFT, and I never will. Actually, that's not true. I bought HSI NFT representations of something, but that's different. But this stuff, man. And so when this came up, I was like, she's nailed it, and it's satire, and it's so perfect. I would encourage you to watch this over and over again, but I'd also encourage you not to check out anything else she's done because it's lame.
On a list. The no funge list. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, try to funge that right now. Try to funge it. I can't. It's non-fungible. It's non-fungible. Yeah. And it's all, they do this because it's all...
And the reason I paused it there is because now she's going to talk about the blockchain. So the blockchain is where it's all stored, which is true. And now she's going to say like, well, the blockchain proves that I own it. And it's like, okay, and well, yeah, I'm on a list. I'm in a ledger. I'm in a database, and therefore I exist. That's that is the basis of it. You have yourself, your wallet address is into a ledger, into a blockchain. It's documented. Woohoo! Happy times. I'm in a ledger, and therefore I'm rad. This is getting confusing. It shouldn't be, Luke. It shouldn't be confusing. Fuck me. Perfect. That's absolute perfect timing. It shouldn't be confusing because okay, so wind it back a section. Jesus, yeah, I'm enjoying this. What is this, Jack Daniels? This is amazing. So think about the blockchain. Think about what cryptocurrency is. Think about the idea of storing information into a database, a series of entrants into a SQL database, whatever. It could be an Excel spreadsheet, whatever. You're storing information. The blockchain is globally accessible across any device, wherever you want. You can go in and you can look at these stored items and who did what, who stored it, who saved it, who sent it, who moved it. You can trace everything back. The concept of the NFT, like I said earlier, is that you're buying that entrance into the data, the entrance into the blockchain. So you're not buying the physical item it points to, you're buying the link, the entrance into the ledger, into the chain. So that's what you're actually, and what I'm saying, the physical item, the actual, in most cases it's a lousy compressed JPEG. That's, like I said, they did that probably because of Minecraft crap. But anyway, it doesn't matter what it actually points to. There can be legitimate cases for what NFTs can actually point to. Ownership of something tangible in the real world, sure, that can work. But the majority of it is these lousy JPEGs. And the point of it is that as long as the ledger is in place, the blockchain entrance, that exists. But where that links out to, that can be changed. And so once you've bought something, you're not buying the thing, you're buying the link that proves the thing. That proves the thing in the database, but not the actual thing. It's mind-numbingly bizarre that it would even... It's so strange, right? If someone told this to me earlier, they're like, you're going to have a lot of people spending a lot of money on links in a database. I'll be like, what? What for? It's like, yeah, it's gonna be all the rage. They're not buying anything in particular. They're buying their entrance into the thing, into the blockchain. Fucking weird, man. So strange. Crazy. Like, seems like such a waste of money. Like, I'm pledging that I'm that guy. I'm that guy. And by the way, it's supposed to be like autonomous and like, not autonomous. It's supposed to be like, what's the word when no one knows? God, there must be alcohol in this, Jack. I can't think of the simplest word. It's supposed to be, no one knows. Then I read your damn chat. No, I'm on a rant. I'm not looking at the chat. Fuck you. Take a drink. What am I missing in the chat? Not much. But anyway. I love this video, and I love blockchain. I love crypto. I think NFTs are stupid, but anyway, it's 2025. Let's continue.
It's part of the blockchain.
That's right. You know, I've always wondered about the blockchain because, of course, and now that I'm trying to fudge this, I'm going, it's so obvious.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Try and fudge that right now. Try and fudge it.
Fudge it. Try to fudge it.
Oh. Try again. Fudge it.
No, you're not making this any easier. Who did the trumpet? What's the trumpet? I have an announcement. What's your... Oh shit, Luke. Sorry, man. Can we just... Can you hold off on your announcement for 2 more minutes? And I swear to you, I will let this video roll and I will not interject again. I promise. I'll just go from here, and then we'll finish it, and we can take your announcement. Give me that. Give me that. I'll enter it into a blockchain.
Go ahead, try and punch that right now. Try and punch it.
Scroll back up in the chat. No, fuck though. I don't want to scroll back up. My mouse only goes down, like crypto. It goes down. Let's just give me 2 more minutes, man. Two minutes, and then we can add your entrance into the chain. I want the NFT of your announcement.
Chain. Oh. Try again. Punch it. Punch it. Blockchain. Stop it. Okay, let me go one more time. One more time. Go again. Go again. Blockchain. Wow. Wow. And what do you do with it? Well, I have it now. So do you print it and put it up on your wall? Or? No, because I have it. Like I said that my name is on the list. That's what I was saying before. Because and then they know that I have it. Oh, right. Well, dummy, of course. Good for the environment though, because you're saving paper. No, not at all. But this is the best 30 grand I've ever spent. So.
30 grand.
Blockchain. Nice try, dummy. Non-fungible. Huge thank you to the sponsor.
Is that how that ends? Dude, there's a 2-minute ad roll at the end. Get out of here, Julie Nolke. Now, what's your announcement? You better be quick because I'm already moving on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Announce away. Like the coal's pricing, it's staying down. Well, you know, prices go up, prices go down. That's the nature of the beast. We're all aware of that. The moon is grey. My partner is 12 weeks. Oh shit! Your new partner of 7 months? Wait. Hang on. So you have a new partner as of 7 months ago, and she's 12 weeks. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna say it. Is that a rebound? Is that a rebound, baby? 12 weeks. Hang on. How long ago did you say you've been? Hug the baby. Hug the baby. I need that drop. No rebound. Okay. But I'm just trying to do the math there because you've been away. You've been. The divorce stuff's been 7 months. How many weeks are? Hey Siri, how many weeks are in 7 months?
7 months is 30.44 weeks.
Okay, 30 weeks. Okay, so 12. Yeah, okay, 12 weeks. Yeah, okay, so that's not a rebound. Okay, you're clear. I'll amend the immutable blockchain to what am I trying to say here? I'll back out. Perfect. Hug the baby alert. That's perfect timing. Well, congrats, dude. Congrats, Luke. I wasn't. I mean, I was trying to be entertaining and funny, but I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying, congrats, dude. So where has life taken you now? Like, where are you? You're in Victoria, right? At one point, you were sort of out west or southwest from here, I guess. I'm in Melbourne working full time. You're in Melbourne, in the city. Okay, cool. Melbourne. I'm going to just put this out there. Melbourne is an interesting city. I've been down a few times. Not a huge fan of that city. I don't know. Southeast Melbourne. Southeast. So like Mornington Peninsula? The peninsula, mate. Baby will be born in Wellborn. Wellborn. Dale, ye little sneaky little... Is there alcohol in that Sierra Nevada? I reckon there might be. Yeah, okay. That sort of way, Mornington Peninsula. Let's bring up a Mapskins. Google Maps for those that want to know where kind of Luke's talking about. I'm not going to obviously dox him, but if we scroll out of Australia and go down to Melbourne town, we scroll in. So this is the city of Melbourne, this area here. And if we go southeast, so here's my mouse, that's obviously east and that's south. Southeast puts it in the Mornington Peninsula range, which is down here. Southeast. Okay, so here's the reason I'm not a huge fan of Melbourne. As you can see, it's inside of a bay, Port Phillip Bay. So I'm a coastal guy, right? I need ocean, I need swell, I need waves, I need surfing. And if you scroll back out, you can obviously see that there's not going to be much swell in the bay of Port Phillip. Okay, some swell could come in here from the south and permeate its way through, but typically the bay is pretty mellow. Coastal down here, Great Ocean Road, Lawn. Back over this side, the south coast of New South Wales, Victoria, I guess, sorry, Victorian borders down here. Yeah, I don't know. Not saying anything against it, but I like my swell in the south coast. I don't want to give my exact name and shame my shitty stuff. No, that's cool, dude. That's cool. I'm not going to diss it anyway. Gibbs is not into babies. He's a coastal baby lover. I know. I kind of know where you were going with that, Dale, but that didn't really work. Guy in a Buffalo, how you doing, man? G on a B, how you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. Over on Kick, eh? The Kick Machine. Good to have you. Good to know you. Good to see you. Okay, fine. I sucked. Yeah, that didn't really hit. That didn't really hit. I like what you tried to do there, but let's just say that you failed. And it's okay to fail because that's how you learn. 12 weeks with my partner and been with her for 6 months. 12 weeks. 6 months. Oh, we're excited. Well, congrats, dude. Congrats, man. Like, wow. That's huge, dude. Now, you said you're working full time. You no longer work at Dan Murphy's, right? Like that's long gone. I feel like that's ages ago. Probably in that 6 month period. Speaking of work, I gotta work tomorrow, and I gotta work kind of early. Shit, I gotta wrap this up. What time is it? What time am I working tomorrow? I gotta get out of here. I mean, I'm not doing a stupid early shift, but I gotta start at. I'm doing a day shift, which is kind of early. I'm at Cash Converters. Okay, cool. No worries, Luke. Hey, before we get out of here, just thanks everyone for hanging out. We had an interesting stream. We learned a whole bunch on this stream, I feel. Like, I think today was like a learn stream. Good fun times, but also a learning time. And I think if we can learn something, then we've all benefited. Would you agree with that if we
Hey
learn?
guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.